We just start the episodes with me dancing.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. I'm Tara.
I'm Natalie.
And guess what? We're making a movie.
I gotta be honest,
Ta-da.
that intro actually
What?
kind of makes me nervous. Like as it goes and that click gets slower and slower and slower. I'm like, oh gosh,
Oh,
like
yeah.
butterflies. Oh goodness.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, this has been a quite the experience of reshaping how we even do live streams
Mm-hmm.
into this form, and now it feels very professional and serious. We have no cards to like stay
On
I
task.
forgot to hit do not disturb, so I don't wait, I can do it for my watch. Hold on. This is very important that we do this because we as professional
Yeah. Welcome to the
don't disturb.
very
There we
first
go.
episode
Thank you.
of We're Making a Movie.
Yeah, yeah, we
This is a
are.
podcast, but if you want to watch it live with us, that we do stream live to YouTube and then pump it to wherever we're gonna pump it. We don't even know yet. We're gonna
We
pump it
don't know
real good
yet.
though.
We're
Pump it
we're doing
real
what we
good.
do best when it comes to any project, and that is we build the plane as we fly it. We well, okay, we get the wings on the body, and then we get some wheels so we can touch down. But then from there on, we kind of take off and figure it as we go.
I
So
feel like that's
that being
probably what's
said,
really happening in the world right now too, though, because I mean, planes are just falling
oh
out
my
of the sky all the time. Like maybe plane crash or building a plane analogies is
God.
not the best way to start
Okay, yeah.
this
Let's
series.
we're gonna build the hot air balloon as we fly it. I don't know. We're figuring out. So that to be said, we're still figuring out a lot of the technical aspects of the show, where we're going, all that good stuff. But we are here. We are ready. We're doing the thing. And I guess let's talk about what is our journey? What is this thing we're doing? The podcast itself?
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Note card one says
No card
intro
one.
to the podcast.
Yes. Hi, welcome.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is going to be a podcast about our journey making a movie. We are making our first feature film. It's called Turns Out right now. That title is in flux. It's possible.
our
It's going to be
working
called.
title.
Yeah, it's a working. It was a set in stone title, and now there's
It was
been
a set
notes
in stone
already.
title.
And we
Yes,
already got
it was a
notes.
set in stone title, and then we had some feedback, and we're like, you're not wrong about elements of proposed title.
Yeah.
So
So it's
we've hit our first hmm.
Yeah, so it may we'll see. You'll find out with this on this journey whether or not the episode title changes or not.
Yeah,
I mean
right. Well,
the movie title.
and this is going to be very much like an unedited, just like this podcast. This is going to be very much an unedited adventure that we're going on. You're going to wind up seeing a lot of the behind the scenes of making a movie. Like normally you see the behind the scenes video that's been kind of curated. We're not going to be able to hide a lot of things from you the way we're doing it. And
No.
it's very very vulnerable to do this because so many projects don't get made, and yeah, the potential of things to not work out or for it to be difficult is very very high. So this
Yeah.
experience for us is very very vulnerable. So
Well, so
welcome to our inner workings.
not only are we deciding to make our first feature film, but we're also deciding to make our first podcast.
At the same time because we're
To
so smart.
document it.
This is
Because
the
there's
way we
no
do
way.
it.
You know what? There's no way we're doing a behind the scenes. There was no way
No.
that that was going to happen. We always, when the thing rolls out, we're like, oh, we should have taken pictures or, oh, we should,
Yes.
you know. So this is a way to document it and maybe hold our feet to the fire and actually get it done.
Yeah. Well, that's the
You
other
know,
thing. I also do in my own mind, and this is me pumping up my own ego. I love the idea of, and you and I have always been good about, we get information and we're not afraid to share it with others. Like the whole gatekeeping idea, which I hate
hmm
to sound like the kids. We've never been like that. We don't ever keep our secrets. So I'm excited to in real time learn new things and immediately try and share them with other filmmakers who are on the same journey as us, who may be
Yeah.
slightly behind us even. Like, do this is what we just discovered that works. And like for me, that's one of the other motivating things about doing this, is that I am so happy to share anything and everything that I learn. Like we've gone and done the film festival thing together, and all that information that we've learned together, like I will happily will sit down and have coffee with anyone and be like, here's everything I know
Oh yeah.
about film festivals. Go. Take the spreadsheet, take my advice, take or don't, but like I'm happy
Or
to
don't.
share. So for
Yeah.
for me, this podcast, like just being an extension of like giving back to the community that I have took from is really, I don't know, that's for me, that's a motivating factor. Like
Yeah.
learn with us in real time. It's gonna be fun.
So that's the why and the what.
The what? The why and the what? We answered
That's
that
the
first
why
up.
and the what.
We're doing
I'm
good
going
on time. 8 minutes.
I know I'm going card number 2 because this one's going to
Next
take up a
two.
lot
Next
more
card.
space.
Okay.
This next
You
card.
got 2 extra minutes. We figure each card gets 10 minutes. This is what we did this morning. Each card gets 10 minutes. So now you're 12. I just took up 30 seconds of it. Go.
Okay, so the next part of this is the who are we? Like who are
Who
we?
are you?
Why would you want to tune in and listen to two girls
To
make their first
us.
feature film? I don't know. Well, anybody who's listening right now is probably knows who we are, but for anybody
Yeah.
joining us after, anybody who comes in new,
After the fact.
I am Natalie. That is Tara.
You are now. Yes.
We have been making content together. So this is fun. I went and I started digging through some old emails. I
Oh,
went
the old emails. Oh, that's
So what I
embarrassing.
did, no, yeah, what I did was I went to my email, I put in Tara's email address, and then I put oldest first to see, like, yeah, isn't it?
I feel, the part in the beginning I said vulnerability, that makes me feel so
I didn't,
vulnerable. To
yeah,
like,
well, I didn't read I mean, the emails. Actually, there was
oh,
one
okay.
really, I read one. I was trying to find information, like, when did this happen? When
Yeah,
did
yeah,
this
yeah.
happen? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting though, I did read one, and you kept calling me babe in it. It was
Why?
real. I don't have any idea.
That's
I feel like
weird. I would never do that
you
now.
called me babe so many times in it that I feel like it must have been an inside joke from like a drunken night
It
before or
that
something.
has to be.
The
That
only
has
thing
to
that
be.
makes sense. But yeah, I was like, "Hey, babe, da 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 da. Thanks, babe." As well. I was
Yeah,
like,
there's
"What is
no world I'm calling you
which?"
babe.
Right, which is the only reason I even opened that email specifically was because it said, "Hey, babe," and I was like, "What?" And I was like, and I
That's got to
did
be a
date
joke.
some of the people in our circle, so it was like it was a
Yeah,
group
yeah.
message, and okay. Anyway, so I looked at it. Tara and I met doing Monty Python. It was an all-female. Well, we didn't meet there, but that's where we got started to become friends. An all-female cast of doing Monty Python sketches out in LA, and I looked at it. We did that in 2007.
Wow. That's like
2000
real
January
close
of
to when I moved out here.
2007. January of 2007,
January.
you and I did our first Python together. And then that one ended up being a really good group because it was an ongoing show that like kept getting together and auditioning new people. And that group ended up doing like 3 different shows that year, 3 different Python shows. They had an
Okay. Yeah.
extension, and within the next year, this is something else we had done. That Python group did a charity event, and that
Oh,
was
that's
all that
right.
same that was by the next year that we were already doing that, which is insane, right?
Whoa.
And in
I
that time we also,
forgot.
yeah, we did Reservoir Dames in that same amount, like within that first year.
That happened
So
then? That's crazy.
isn't that insane? So Tara and I
Yeah.
we did a sketch group together. I was doing another sketch group, which is how I met Tara.
Hmm.
And then we did that. We did we did a play together, and we did the sketch group multiple times. So then, hold on, let me refer to my trusty card here. Oh, wait, hold on. We're going to we're going to throw some
Yeah, yeah.
references here, even though not everyone will be able to see it. This is baby Natalie and baby Tara rehearsing
Look at
for, I
that.
think it was that's for the restaurant, the Dirty Fork sketch.
It was a restaurant? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
gonna be
that's the
like
Dirty
up
Fork
yeah.
sketch. You're playing my husband, um, and
Okay.
you're hiding behind me. Anyway, so
Oh, right. Right, right, right.
so moving on, Tara, you and I filmed our very first first episode of joining the union was the first thing we did.
Okay.
The email
Yes.
started going
Uh-huh.
back and forth in April of 2008. The script was emailed April
Wow. Okay.
22nd of 2008. So Tara and I had decided we're just going to go and start making our own stuff. Like, I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. We became thick as thieves and then hit the
We
ground
did.
running.
Well, and at the same time, this is when all the writers' strikes were first happening in 2008. And the window and the way which you built a career back then completely changed. And all of a sudden, everyone had to do something for themselves. And we're like, well, I guess we're going to make YouTube content now. And that's kind of what pushed us into like, well, let's make our own stuff because there's nothing else to do. We couldn't even go do background work anymore.
No.
So that pushed us into this.
So yeah, we just decided to make a web series called Joining the Union. And then on top of that, then we just started going crazy and we were making sketches left and
Yeah.
right.
YouTube was fun back then. It was a wild west. You could do whatever you wanted.
Do you see this, Tara?
Oh my God. We have this amazing, like every once in a while, we would get together and film something called You're the Resistance. And also we would do things whenever we like had the right clothes on, we would do what we called band photos. And
Yeah.
one of the You Are the Resistance is a Mad Max themed one. I think this is buried deep in the internet at this point, but we're dressed in very Tina Turner, Mad Max-esque clothes, and they are my favorite photos of us. Like we look
I have
so
another one
freaking
too.
cool.
This is another band photo.
Band
Yeah,
photo.
I don't know what we were filming that day. Who knows? Like,
That is the 12 Days of Christmas
no,
with the
it's not
shots of
because I
Jack.
have
Is it not?
no, because I had the 12 Days of Christmas and it's a different costume. I did think it was the
Oh,
same thing. Yeah, no, but
it's
it's not.
around then though. Yeah,
Yeah, but I wore this green vest I wore every
that's
freaking
true.
day. So,
Yeah, that's true. You did.
Uh,
And that was my favorite stripy sweater. So who knows?
you're wearing it every day too. So
Oh my
who
God, every day.
knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, we just started making stuff. We just started writing. We would get together, especially the You Are the Resistance sketches, which that spawned off of going to see Terminator that had Christian Bale in it.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
leaving watching
Hated it.
Terminator with Christian Bale, and we hated it so much
Hated
that
it.
we wrote a sketch called You Are the Resistance, and the entire basis was to not go see the movie, but we did it in theme. And then it spawned. We started doing it kind of weekly for a minute. I feel like maybe
Yeah,
like
we were doing it
getting
weekly.
together. We would go to Denny's, and we would write a script while we were sitting there, and then we would film it the same day.
Same day. We were doing it with
We were
48 hours.
we were
We
and
would
because
write
we'd
it,
also go
shoot
to
it.
yeah, but we'd also go to Goodwill and buy costumes.
Yeah. Go buy the costume pieces we needed, go back home and push pin a blanket into the wall in my apartment in the corner of the front door because it was the
I
only
still
wall
have
that
that
worked.
blanket. It's my favorite.
Oh my
It's
God.
such a good. It was too heavy for what we were trying to do with it,
Oh
but
yeah.
it is a great,
What
great,
were we
great
thinking?
blanket. I don't know.
Yeah,
It was a
and then
perfect
we would
color.
film it, edit it, and stick it out in the world like in the next day. Like
Yeah.
we were going fast, which
Yeah.
hence all the flubs.
Right. So we put those out there, and then we just started doing some other random things. Like we did a one that was like based off of Colbert. Like so there was some viral thing going around where some guy toasted his many, many pieces of bread and then
Yeah.
put them in a grid work and then flipped them over and Jesus was in his bread or something.
Yeah.
And we did it
Yep.
with Stephen Colbert, but we don't have the ability to burn toast in the right way. So we just glued pieces of we printed out a giant Colbert face, cut it into things and glued it on the back of pieces of bread and then went and flipped it. Oh, there it was so dumb. Oh my
It was
gosh.
still, I mean, still a mind game of figuring out
Oh,
how to
yeah,
get it
it
on
was
there and then put it out in the
crazy.
right order. It was hard. It was not it was not as easy as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But well worth it. I rewatched that recently and I was like, we're so dumb. This
So
is so
dumb.
ridiculous. And I love it.
It was the Wild West YouTube, and we
It
were having
was.
a blast. But so
We had a
then,
good time.
then we had enough stuff and enough like energy that we did a one-man show.
Yeah.
It was called Natalientara One Man Show, which I still think the title is the greatest thing.
I think it's the greatest title ever.
And from with that, we did a live show that was just sketches, she and I, and then we had a projector that we had recorded sketches as well, and a through line sketches in the background. So it basically was the length of a play that we had written
Yeah.
the whole thing. And Justin that was early on in Justin having to jump in there, and he did our tech for us. And my sister-in-law Allison was I think Hannah came in as well.
Hmm.
And they did helped us do costume changes because otherwise, how do you do that?
Oh, no, the quick changes were crazy.
No. And then that's where Maggie and Maud came from.
That's
That's where
it.
Panic Button came from.
Yeah,
Those were
that's where Panic Button
sketches
came
that we
in.
wrote for those for that stage version.
Yeah.
Um, and from there, then we started to. That's where okay. So then the end of my part of this slideshow, and I
Okay.
don't have a picture for that one actually, is when we were backstage rehearsing this. That's when we came up with the drinking game, and
Yes. Yeah.
we started doing, which ended up being a 10-year, whatever it was, run
Yeah.
of live drinking games once a month for almost
Yeah.
12 years.
Which, if for the uninitiated, a drinking game is we would take a cult classic movie, and we turned it into a stage play reading, and everyone would have scripts, but they would also be dressed up, and it was like one part Rocky Horror Picture Show, one part a stage reading, one part a drinking game with your buddies watching your favorite movie. So everyone would like quote the movie back to us. We would reenact it as much as we could from our chairs with handmade amazing props, and it just became the game of like, how can we represent this movie on stage in the parameters we're given, but also while drinking a sip of your drink every time certain words are said in the line of dialogue. And additionally, the pros, our cast, would drink when their character's name were said in a line of dialogue. And those are so fun. Like the energy of doing a drinking
Yeah.
game is unmatched as far as like live shows I've done. Like the live theater always has that amazing energy. This is just a raucous party where we're all
It
celebrating this
was out
thing
of
that we all
control.
love. Oh my God, they were so much fun. Like that, I miss doing them. They're great, but my liver is thankful that I quit drinking. I think every
I
cast member's liver is grateful.
yeah, I don't think I couldn't definitely couldn't do it the same way. I
Hmm.
I I don't drink like I did a year
Yeah,
ago. You know,
yeah.
I would not be able, and I drank during the
Uh-uh.
drinking game. I was a pro.
Oh yeah, you and I both. I was popping a Truly the other day for somebody else, and the smell of it was like,
Brought
oh,
you
I
back.
remember that it took me right back to doing the pandemic version because that's when
Mm-hmm.
Truly's came out. The pandemic version of the drinking game that we did as a live stream. We learned to live stream the hard and difficult way. But yeah, okay, went right back to sitting in that chair doing the live stream. It's like, oh, that's right, back in the day.
There you go.
Again, our livers are so very grateful. But yeah, speaking of the Natalientara show, so from that show, a couple of sketches have gone on, and that's what kind of sort of rolled us into starting to make film. So we got it in our head that we needed to start making short films, and we decided to start with a sketch that we had, not a sketch, a web series we started to film, which has never seen the light of the day because we didn't have the technical abilities at the time to do the script justice. So we shelved it for a while, came back to it years later. It's called Imaginary Friends, and it was our very first short film that we ever did. We pulled every favor we could, including bringing in our friend Jason C. Brown, who then pulled every favor he could
Yeah.
to put together this short film. I'm so proud of this short film today because I we really did like we threw it all at the wall and gave it our every bit. We even had honey wagons at this. I was so proud of us for having star wagons for people to go get their
Yeah.
makeup done in. Like it made me feel like a professional. We were on location in a yogurt shop at one point. We didn't get to shut the street down, but like I had to learn about permitting and cops, and we had a jib rig
We had a
in this
jib that
thing.
was so amazing. It showed up on set in like it was this little tinker toy that like this guy put together. And when it showed up, we were
Oh,
like, there is zero chance this is gonna work out. But it
mm-hmm.
did. That was a huge. I mean, we jumped into the deep end with that one.
We did.
I
We didn't
think
know what we
it's,
didn't know.
to date the best one we've done.
Agree. Yeah.
But it was our first, and so we've been chasing that high ever since.
Yeah. Well, because we were able to at the time, like we crowdfunded to make it happen. We put our
Hmm.
our money into it. Jason C. Brown brought in so many favors, and what the script needed and wanted was a production to that level. Like not every script that we do wants or needs this level of production. So this one, like it's the reason why it got made like that. It's because it's what it
Yeah.
wanted. It wanted to be this big.
And before you move on from this, all of the short
Go.
films we're talking about are available on our YouTube page. So
Yes.
they are
Good plug.
under a playlist called scripted content because there's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that's not scripted. So we wanted to keep that separate.
Yeah, this will be on our Natalie and Tara YouTube channel. So if you are new to us, go to Natalie and Tara on YouTube. The breadth of our work is up there, and there is a
Hmm.
playlist of just scripted stuff, scripted sketches as well as scripted short films. After that one, we started chasing that high, and we brought in a short film called Panic Button that was from the One Man Live show. We wanted something that was ready to roll, but something that wasn't quite as big of a production because we realized how much money, time, effort that took, and we knew to keep the ball rolling with the film festival relationships we had made, we needed something quicker and faster.
Yeah.
So Panic Button is a short film about two women who are lost in the woods. And one of them is like, no worries, I've got a panic button. And she pulls out a drawn piece of paper with a panic button on it. And it's such a fun script.
It's
I like,
absurdist, and it kind of
yeah,
goes back to our Python roots in that regard, Monty Python. Like it does.
yeah, very much Dead Parrot sketch, which we've
Yeah.
been doing Dead Parrot now for 20 years together. Like every
Yeah.
conversation is Dead
Yes.
Parrot between you and I.
All of our carrots are either dead parrot or it's what is Mel Brooks,
Yeah,
Young Frankenstein.
yeah.
We're
Oh,
doing putting on the
100%.
Ritz. That's all we're ever doing.
Always, always, yeah. And this was so much fun to film. We had to film it twice in one weekend because it snowed and it ruined
Oh
everything.
yeah,
So
the
this was
openings.
another big learning curve. Yeah, it wasn't quite as big of a production, smaller crew and stuff, but we learned so much about how to make it happen on our own that, and again, I'm proud of this just because we figured it all out. And it turned out really fun. People really love it. And then from there, the pandemic happened, life got weird. And I pulled up maybe this year as another short film that you and I have made together. Very different. This is a song parody to the song Maybe This Time, but it's all about maybe this year things are going to be better because COVID will be over. And let's just face it, we're all still saying maybe this year will be the
Maybe
one.
this year. Yeah.
I said that for the first 5 days of January, and
Well,
that
so
did not.
what's funny about maybe this year, this concept. I have a bunch of song parodies, and we had song parodies in
Oh,
our live
so
show.
many.
Well, we didn't actually. That's
Yeah.
not true. No, we did.
Not
We had
really,
one.
not true, but
We did
whatever.
Random
Oh
Works.
yeah,
We did.
that's right.
So this song originally was going to be a maybe this year was about whether it was a shirt I had that I was like maybe this year it'll fit, like it was gonna. I had this. It made it into this video too. It's the
Yeah.
I've kept this shirt. It's the St. Patrick's Day shirt I wear in maybe this year and it's too short. It's this little midriff that I don't want to wear because every year I'm like, well, maybe this year my abs. And so I still reserve the right to remake this song
Absolutely.
as a parody about losing weight and having just a
A
bunch
hundred
of
percent.
women singing about this diet they're
Yeah.
on this year because they want to wear a
Weight
certain
Watchers,
pair of
call
pants.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, Weight
But
Watchers. Any of those healthy eating apps, you give us a call. We will sell you our idea, but we will not sell it for cheap. We need
no,
money.
I think we need the
Yeah,
money.
we got a movie to make. We need the monies
Oh
to make the
yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get in make some commercial work so that we can afford to make a movie.
That's what I was
Uh,
thinking the other day. Anyways, I pulled this one up specifically because this is the one that she and I truly shot for ourselves. What we did not have a DP, we did not have help with lighting. Natalie got in there and like really learned about lighting, and so we as filmmakers really, really, really had to figure out how to get this dramatic lighting that we were seeing in our heads and these shots we were seeing in our heads on our own. And so this was like one as filmmakers, we got in
grew.
there and really grew as like understanding the craft as filmmakers. This was our film school. Like we
other
didn't go to film
ones-
school.
Right. The
Go ahead.
other ones we grew as writers and we grew as actors,
Yes.
but like we didn't, and producers definitely.
And
cares in
producers,
growing as a
yeah.
producer,
Yeah.
But this one we had to get in there, and we've done a lot of sketches since then that I think we upped our game on, like the Pandora unboxing video.
Oh, yeah.
And even
Yeah.
the the what's the one, the Marvelous Insurance one. I think we did a great job.
Oh,
with
yeah. We
that,
did a
with
great
filming
job with
one.
that.
So
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
again, all that's on the internet. All the breadth of our work now that we're talking about it is kind of insane. Like the level and amount of things that we've made that are all over the map.
Right. And then
Insane.
none of this is touching base on our non-scripted series that we did for 7
Oh God,
seasons.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So,
Yeah. Lot. Okay. So then our most recent short film is Social Anxiety. This is Natalie's writing. Purely Natalie's writing. It's a short film about a woman who is having anxiety about going into a party, and she's envisioning all the ways that it could go wrong. So it's a bit of a Groundhog Day time loop, which is like one of my favorite. Like if I didn't know you and you brought me the script, I'd be like, yes, I'm signing on, because this is
what's
definitely
wrong with
like
this
a
woman's
film
head?
that no, it's like I love to reimagine reality over and over and over
Yeah.
again with different variables. And so for me as a producer, like I would have been like, yes, I will help you make this short film. It's so fun. So this was another big learning curve. Like this is post pandemic learning how to make movies again, which is a little different than it
Hmm.
used to be. And us really getting in there again as indie filmmakers and pulling it together and figuring it out on a shoestring. And again, permitting, the bane of my existence, learning how to permit again. So
And learning how
this is
not
the
to
most
permit.
recent thing, and how not to permit and not to permit at all. Uh, but and
Well,
with all of these films, we have gone to a bucket full of film festivals. Like the level of stuff that we've
mhm.
learned because we've made these short films, I think is just I look back and go, oh yeah, we did do some stuff.
And a lot of the time shooting out of our, like what is it what is it called when you like hit above your weight class? Some of this we've been,
Punching up?
punching up. Yeah, like we're no, no, no.
Okay.
Uh,
No.
but like this is we're getting into festivals with this one that with social anxiety we're sitting next to people who are making films that are amazing, and these
Yeah.
are good, but and then we know we're I don't know, sometimes at the bottom of the level in the room. Like, like if we're
Yeah.
sitting around
Yeah.
with the other filmmakers and going, wow, I'm striving to
Ooh.
make, and then sometimes it's just because you're making a short comedy. I'm gonna sidebar for a second here on this thing that I'm
Go.
hooked into my head right now, and I'm beating myself up, and also like, is that making comedy sometimes is not very respected in the
Yeah.
filmmaker world.
Yes.
First of all, you're
Agree.
making a
Yeah.
short and you're making a comedy, and you don't
Mm-hmm.
you don't ever win the awards unless there's a comedy section, and
No.
you don't ever, like, the accolades go to the social movement stuff, and that I'm
Yeah.
not
The
saying
serious,
I don't
serious
I don't
films.
think I compete with those the same way. I don't think there should
Mm-hmm.
be a competition the same way either.
I agree.
I want to bring up, I have had to tell myself, because I don't ever want to write anything beyond comedy. I like
Mm-hmm.
being in other things beyond comedy, but I don't want to write
Yeah.
anything beyond comedy. And I have to always tell myself and remind myself when I say we just write comedy that we comedy is good for the world.
Yes. It's
Comedy
important.
is good. It's just as important as making people think sometimes to make them laugh. And so I need to stop
Yeah.
beating myself up for only being a comedy writer. Like, that's
Yeah.
important. That is going to be, we're going to save the world
Yeah.
one laugh at a time.
No, I totally agree. Like it gets the short end of the stick. It's actually so much harder to make a comedy than you don't know if it's working sometimes. Like
I
I maybe it's just my perspective. Like,
no, a
cause
lot of people think that way. I
yeah.
don't agree.
Okay.
I couldn't imagine writing anything that wasn't a comedy. Like, I couldn't
No,
do it.
writing wise, no. But making it like it is a craft in all itself. I really wish it got more of the pomp and hooray, but
Hmm.
whatever. We're I have to remind myself that even the show that we made, the Try Stuff show, which was a ongoing unscripted series Dan and I did for 7 years, where she and I, as best friends, tried new things every week. Like even shows of that nature, like they're so important to the world because everyone needs a break from being serious and the craziness. They need to escape
Yeah.
into like, oh my God, let's have fun. And like for me, that show was always about like encouraging others to try the thing they've been wanting to for years. Like, go do
Yes.
it. Like, we're dumb. If we can do it, you can
Hmm.
do it.
Yes. And
What
I
are you
and
gonna say? Oh, I thought I was cutting
no,
you
I
off.
was just gonna say I actually had that same
Okay.
thought with a drinking game. Was one day I
Yeah.
realized how many shows I had done at 90 people per audience, if you just average it,
Hmm.
that like, and then even through the pandemic of like just
Yeah.
a night that people got to laugh. And I'm like, okay,
Yes.
you need to give yourself more credit for being just a
Yes.
comedy writer.
Yeah. Same. You got you give we're it's important because everyone needs a chance to set down their worries and their concerns. That's why during the Great Depression, movies ticket sales skyrocketed and movies became so popular because people need that moment to escape from the stuff, and that's what we provide. That's what I'm
Heck
gonna say.
yeah. And we're going to keep
Heck
providing
yeah.
it with the next card,
The next card is
the intro to where we are now. We are making a movie. We're making a movie called, right now it's called Turns Out. There's a working title,
it's
Options for the
working
Apocalypse.
title.
We don't,
Uh,
we'll land on that later. That's the least
yes,
important part, actually. Although I do have our gimmicks worked out and stuff like that.
that's what the most important thing is, gimmicks.
The gimmicks are the most important thing. The log line, I screen grabbed it because we could never remember.
Because no,
Because I will pull up the log line right now so I can read the closest thing we have to a log line right now is lifelong friends Amanda and Karen managed to survive the apocalypse. But can they survive each other? It is a oil and water buddy comedy, odd couple situation that just happens to take place in the apocalypse. We think. We
yeah,
actually don't know.
we don't know, unconfirmed. We're pretty sure.
So yeah, the loose
Wait,
story.
title. Pretty sure it's the apocalypse.
Pretty sure it's the apocalypse. Yeah.
Okay, it's too long.
The loose synopsis for this movie, synopsis,
Yeah.
is that two lifelong friends are day drinking when they get a call from one of my prepper boyfriend named Jared, who warns us of the apocalypse. So we go lock ourselves into a bunker because we're day drunk, and that sounds like a good idea. Flash forward 2 months later, and they are at each other's throat inside the bunker. And so they decide to escape the bunker and venture out into the world. And what do they find there?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, there's houses, there's trees, there's birds, but that's it. There are no people.
Are they the last people on Earth? Does Karen have
Maybe.
to live with Amanda for the rest of
The
her
rest of her
existence?
life.
So yeah, it
Oh my
becomes just
God.
a buddy comedy in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Two women, odd couple, but two women basically, and we're really proud of this script.
I'm so proud of the script. We've worked. I found I keep forgetting to change the date on the cover page, which I'm now really glad I didn't. We started, I want to say started with like quote air quotes really hard around it. 2018 is when we first started. October is the date on that. And so we've been working on this one, writing it and rewriting it and rewriting and rewriting it for a long time. And it did get shelved a
Originally,
little bit there
yeah,
because of the apocalypse. And so we were like, well, no one wants to see an apocalypse movie right now. We're all
right.
living in an apocalypse. So
Yeah, we
we
were
shelved it for a
reading.
bit because of that.
We it was going to be a web series because that's what we knew at the time. And we had so we had it was going to be 10-minute episodes. That was the plan. We had, I'd say, five finished, five in like a
Yeah.
finished state. And not in order necessarily. Like I think episode 8 was done, but episode
Yeah.
5 was not finished, type of thing.
Right.
And then of the rest of them, 3 were probably in, I could read it to you maybe, and then there was 2 that were just like not touched at all, type of thing. And we were meeting once a week to write on this while still making
Yeah.
our web series. It was like one day
Yeah.
was the web series, one day was write this thing. We were going to make it. And then the apocalypse happened and we decided no one wants to see this. So
Yeah.
we shelved it. And then we got a lot of feedback from people that it should be a feature. And we weren't ready to write a feature. That just sounded like so
No,
intimidating.
that was hard. Yeah.
Yeah. And then one
Yeah.
day, and we also didn't want to lose the script we had written. And we couldn't figure out
Right.
how to just make it a feature. And then one day it just
Yeah.
clicked. One day about a year ago, 2 years ago, it clicked of how to turn it into a feature. And then we just plowed through it.
Yeah.
And here
We've
we
just
are
been
with a
meeting up.
script.
Yeah, we've been meeting up virtually just like this, once a week almost, like constantly, like working on it, and then sending it out to people who are also writers and like, hey, what do you think? Once we got it mostly ready, because we're very particular about our writing. Like we don't show it to anybody until we are like solid in what we think we got, and we know the reasons why we've done what we've done.
Yeah, there's
Just-
no early
just
stage
'cause.
feedback. We don't want that. We want to
no.
already have it set, and you can only
Emotionally, we
adjust
can't
things.
do that yet. Yeah, we can't. Emotionally, we're not there yet. And that's kind of just how we are with our, like, there was one experience we had with imaginary friends. We were sitting at the table read, and the first AD, John Mattingly, who's an incredible first AD, we get done and like, okay, feedback, everybody. And John goes, "What are the rules to this world?" And we go, "I'm sorry, what?
Huh?
What are the rules to your imaginary friend world?" Like,
Can they touch things? Can they, like
oh,
that kind of stuff?
yeah.
And we were,
And we're like, oh, and ever since then, you and I have been really like, even in a normal, and again, giant air quotes, normal world, like turns out, which we would think would have fairly normal rules. We're still figuring out what the rule. We want to figure out
yeah.
those rules for ourselves before we show it to anybody, so that we can answer any question and go, well, this you're not getting that. Okay, we'll fix that. Like we just got to
Right.
hammer it in. Yeah.
So we've got this script. We've got and we've started. Are we? Is this part of? Am I supposed to be talking about where we are yet? No, we're talking about where we are
Nope,
later.
nope, nope.
We're going to
Yeah,
move on
yeah,
to card 4, and we'll get back to
yeah,
turns out. This is bouncing around
yeah.
because this is a
Card 4.
fluid.
Yeah.
I'm on card
So
4.
fluid. It's a
Um,
conversation. I'm moving to card
so
4 as well.
so what does that mean for this podcast?
What is
Like
that? Yeah.
what is we
What are you
went
doing?
through um yeah, like I said, we don't want to I just knock the crap out of the mic. Um I'm new to this, guys. Come on.
They're brand new.
So we decided what are the steps of making a movie? We broke it down, and I think we broke it down to 12 steps, which someone was joking with me. I didn't realize that we made a 12-step program for making a movie.
I know. No,
I didn't,
I
I
caught
didn't,
it, and I thought it was so funny.
I never caught it.
I was like, oh, it's
I was
12 cents.
like,
If anyone is out
there's
there,
12 years is what I did.
yeah,
I mean, 12 months
I
in
am.
a year.
I'm a friend of Bill, in case everybody's wondering. So I find those things very humorous. Anytime there's 12, I'm like, 12, yeah.
So there's 12 big steps to making a movie, like from the idea and concept, getting the script together, all the way down to storyboards, casting, post production, and down to marketing and distribution and film festivals. So we've broken it down into 12 sections, and we are going to hit on each of those over the course of this podcast season. And hopefully our journey aligns somewhat with that. I highly doubt it, but
No, of course it
I
won't.
think we're going to get ahead of ourselves and then get behind ourselves. And
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna be like there's gonna be a structure, but within the structure, the pieces may change around. We've kind of broken it down to where there'll be episodes where we talk about the journey that we're doing, which turns out in regards to where we're at. We'll have the episodes where, excuse me, where we've gone away and done research, and we're going to bring forth the research we've done, so hopefully you don't have to do as much research for yourself. And then we'll also be bringing in interviews with professionals and our friends who are either like
our
a
friends are
little ahead of
professionals.
us. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, they're either gonna be like people who are a little bit ahead of us, or our filmmaker friends, our festival friends, and maybe we'll be able to get some big hits later on as we keep moving. Maybe we'll see what happens, but we're leaving room in to bring people who have information as well, so that we have an amazing excuse to ask them everything. And like, no, it's just for a podcast. It's not because we're trying to pilfer your entire brain for everything you
Right.
know.
For
Yeah.
example, next week's episode is the idea. Like coming up with ideas. Where do you come up with ideas? How did we come up for the idea for this one? And
Yeah.
then the next week we are interviewing our good friends Mitch Yapko and Alan Ruckert. Alan, Alan from well, he wasn't Imaginary Friends. He was Bobo.
Yeah, he was. He was Bobo. You just didn't
But
see
you
his
know him from a
face.
drinking game, and you know him from social anxiety as my love interest.
Yes.
And then Mitch directed the first Maggie and Maud that we had done.
Yeah.
So we've known these guys for a very long time. But they have so much information in their heads, and we're gonna pick their brains. We're gonna
Yeah.
pick their brains,
Pick
and then
their
we'll see where it goes
brains.
from there on this
Yeah.
arc.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. We've made a giant list of the guests we have access to easily, and I'm very excited about everybody we have in our potential list. Lots of amazing people we've met over the years who have so much to tell and offer. So that's going to be very fun. Cool.
yeah.
Is that
So then-
section 4?
Card 5.
Card 5. All right, let's do card 5.
Card 5. Where are we in the process?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we've got a script.
So we
we
got a
the
script.
idea. We've got a script,
It's
which is
yeah.
in flux at all times. Let me tell you, the one thing
Uh-huh.
about scripts is they're never done until they're shot. And even
No.
then, when you
And
watch them
even
on the
then.
screen, you wish you still had more edits. Um,
Yes.
I guess they're not done until they're up on the screen, specifically, not until
Yeah.
even they're shot, because the editor
No.
is editing your script as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
that's done. We have teamed up with a group, Evening Squire Productions. This is Allison and Mike Hayhurst. Mike is a director. Allison is a producer. We know them from film festivals. Actually, you should check out Evening Squire Productions. They have a
They have
website.
a
They have
really
some
fun.
really fun stuff that's on there, and
Yeah.
some things that are, and they're dipping their toes in all sorts of stuff. They're doing
Yeah, exactly.
Broadway
They
or
have a
something. I don't.
wide catalog of work that they're doing. Like they're doing
Mhm.
all kinds of different kinds of things, which is very a good fit for us because then we're all coming from this like we all do different kinds of things. Let's get together and make a one thing
They
together.
just finished their first feature film. It was called "And Through the Portal We Go," and it's in festival right now, so you cannot see it yet unless you go to one of
Mm-mm.
their festivals. But we teamed up with them, and they are going to make this with us. We are making a
Yeah,
movie.
making
So
a movie.
where are we? We're at the find locations, find money phase of the,
Yeah.
which is a floater actually. It's not.
Yeah.
It's everywhere on the list. The find the money part never stops. I don't think.
Yeah, that game never, my understanding
Mhm.
is you never are stopping the looking for money because A, you could always use more. And sometimes you lose money mid thing and you got to go find different new money to fill that money.
Desiree, I'm gonna go to the comment section really quick. We're not gonna
Go
normally
for it.
often go over here. I'm not changing my volume at this point in time. I will fix it in post. But there's some technical things that if you start to like mess with them, it might mess up. Tara's actually closer to her mic than she was when we did our volume test.
Oh,
So
oops, sorry. I was doing the talking into my mic thing. Sorry, I'm gonna
she
sit
tests her
back.
mic differently than she
Yeah, like
does
I
use
started to
the.
be like really present. Well, I just, you in my head, like right before we start, Natalie rattled off a list of like, remember to do this and this. And one of them is talking to the mic. And
Yeah,
my brain, the voice in the back of my brain, this entire first one has been talking to the mic, talking to the mic,
yeah.
talking to the mic, talking to the mic. Don't drink in the mic, but talking to the mic,
No.
talking to the mic.
So I mean,
Okay,
I will
sorry.
adjust my no, it's fine. I will adjust my volume for future episodes, but
Yeah. And
there's something internally that if I mess with it now, things
mm-mm,
go
no, no.
terribly wrong.
We do not touch it. Yeah, I will sit back now. I don't even, what was the, well, whatever. We'll deal with it later. But yeah, I'm sitting back now. Sorry, everybody out there. Tara will calm down now. I will calm down.
Yeah,
I'm
you had
calm.
gotten really close. You were like here
I
now.
did. I was like, I was saw myself in the frame. I'm like, what am I doing? And I'm like, wait, am I doing this wrong? Like, don't move yet. Natalie didn't say don't do it. Like, when it comes
Uh,
to this kind of stuff, Natalie is the sound person. I see, there I am again. Natalie is the sound person, and she is. I cannot hear what Natalie's amazing ears can hear, and for me, I'm just like whatever. It all there's audio. It's happening. That's good enough. Cool. Like I
Audio's
am not
happening.
good at this. Yeah, I have to be directed, and even then, I get again talking to Mike, talking to Mike, talking to Mike. That's every time you're talking. That's what's going on in my head.
Well, that's actually, and that's my bad on this kind of thing is I'm a mover. So I will go here,
Oh,
and I was watching a playback of our test, and I was every time I turn and I start talking over here because I am not
yeah,
good at this
yeah.
either.
So just that's our
Anyway,
other way to say the PSA on this one. We're learning this podcasting thing, and we're very used to doing live streams where you get to do all kinds of things where you get to be the joke can be a visual joke, and we've lost that ability now that we want this
that
to be a
is
podcast.
that's going to be the biggest challenge for us. We
Yeah,
apologize for everything that you don't
in
get
advance.
by listening because our
Yeah,
facial expressions sell most of what we have to say.
yeah, we're working on
Uh,
it, and Tara will sit back now. Good
I think
Lord,
that's kind of the end there. That is the where we are in the process. I have next, all I have is card six,
six.
um, which is the thing we're going to introduce. This is going to be a little bit fun for us. We're calling
Yeah,
it the Abby Singer shot, which actually I don't know if it really works. It works. You just don't necessarily know that it works.
you just
You'll
don't know.
you'll figure it out later on. We in our research just to even make this podcast and trying to find the steps of things, we came across some vocabulary from filmmaking that we thought like anytime we're gonna have an end of the episode, we're gonna learn a new piece of vocabulary in filmmaking. And so if you're advanced, you already know what the Abby Singer shot is. I had never heard of the Abby Singer shot, even though I had been on many sets.
No,
The Abby
never heard of it.
Singer shot is the word of the day. And it is the second to last shot of a filming day. It's also used as the penultimate setup too, because that's like the second to last setup. It doesn't have to be the last shot, but it's the
Oh,
second to last shot is referred to the Abby Singer shot, and this is why, which I like this. It was named after Abner E. Singer. He was a first AD, and he was notorious for saying, "We're going to do this and one more. We're going to do this and one more." And he started because he was in
ah,
television. He did a lot of
uh-huh.
television, and it was with setups actually. And he found that he saved his directors like 10 to 15 minutes on a day by telling the crew, we're going to do this and then one more. So they knew to start setting up for the next shot. So it wasn't of the day at the time, but then his crew started as a term of endearment, started calling the second to last one the Abby Singer shot. And I
Oh, I
love it.
love that. Oh,
Everybody knows
I
the
love
martini
it.
shot is the
Yeah,
last
that's
shot.
it. We're
And
done. Thank
I
God.
actually don't
Yeah.
remember the where that came from. But the Abby Singer
No,
shot, that is the second to last shot of the day. And now you know. And now
and
this
now
card
we know
goes over
it's
there.
trash.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for this, the very, very first one, this introduction to us. And those of you who already have known us for years, thank you for tuning in and joining us for this change in our live streaming process and all that stuff. You guys are awesome. We love you very much. And with that, I'm gonna kick it to the outro. Kick it to the outro. Here we go.
Get to the outro. Get to the
Credit cookie.
credit cookie. All right, guys. So we
Oh,
are going to. Hoo, 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 hoo.
I know.
That's
I
officially
feel like I get to
over.
relax right now.
That's
Yeah, that's
official. Oh, and I will
over.
tell you, yeah, that's over. At the end of every episode, we are going to stick around. We're going to roll that. We're going to stick around for the live stream and have a little chitty chat, so we can connect with our hardcore audience. And then this part won't be end up on to the podcast version.
The
Yeah.
fish.
So yesterday we were mic testing. Was that yesterday? Oh no, it was the day
That
before.
was that. No,
We
day
were
before.
mic testing, and we were playing with levels and everything inside of the thing. And something happened where every time we pushed the button to change some setting, it like deleted a second from the file. And so we
Yeah.
could not sync up the audio again ever. It was impossible. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I was like, I'm just not going to touch it. We'll figure, I
No.
can raise my volume in post
Yep.
for the podcast, and we will just roll with whatever's happening here. But yeah, that's weird because we had gotten the levels pretty on. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know
we
that
spent
we're, yeah.
there's a great clip. There's a clip up on Instagram right now of us doing the thing, and that's what we're doing. Like, and then Brian comes in the room. He's like, "What are you doing?" Because I keep yelling for him.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but yeah, that was us sitting here spending just oodles amount of time trying to really fine tune the audio,
Yeah.
and then I had to just lean in like I'm making an ASR video. Anyways, it's
Yeah. I was
ridiculous.
like, I was watching it and I was
I
like,
don't.
mm.
I know, Tara. And feel free to, I say, feel free to go, Tara. We're just gonna take a moment here. Tara, lean back a little bit. Like, I have zero qualms with that kind of stuff being out in the
Yeah.
podcast world. Whatever. That's
And I'm
just who
also
we
curious
are.
about your dial, your gain, if it got
Yeah.
hit at all.
No,
Um,
we're still at 9 o'clock. So
okay.
I don't know. Yeah. And I think it's just me. This is
Yeah.
where we rehearsed it.
Tara's a
And then I ended up right there,
right.
like a
But
crazy
yeah,
person.
I do think we might roll you a little to the left and we'll roll me a little to the
Okay.
right and try to meet in the
Okay.
middle. Thank you guys for the feedback. Sorry, I was,
Yeah. Thank you.
trying not to try and just roll with the punches for a little bit there.
Yeah. There's been a lot of punches in learning
Uh,
how to do this podcast thing. We're getting lots of little punches every day trying to figure it out.
yeah.
Blasty sounding. Okay, good to know. Also, what's also interesting is that the audio you guys are getting live is vastly different than the audio
Audio that we hear in
that
our,
gets
yeah.
recorded. So,
Hmm.
and then it's different. That's different than the audio recorded, and then different than the audio even that we're hearing. So this credit cookie time of you telling us, "Hey, a little high, little low," is really helpful because we're gonna be able to like
You know
dial in for
what?
you guys.
I'll go back and watch because we did the test as a Did we do the test as an unlisted?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so I can go through and I can listen
Oh,
there, and yeah, we did a good test.
yeah.
I
Okay.
can dial it in from there.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, thank you guys. Those of you who could make it on our Wednesday morning. Yeah, so we will be doing these credit cookies. At the end of each one, it probably won't be as much technical. You never know with us. We're gonna still have a little behind the scenes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Tara
Right.
wanted
Oh,
me to
like,
tell you my new
this
little
is my
thing.
favorite. Yeah. It's like, please.
So I have decided that each week a mug that I have purchased for making a candle will be my. I will use it once and then it will get washed and then it'll be go over there to be making a candle. So keep an eye out on the secret little Easter eggs of mugs. This one's cute though, isn't it? And look at the little duckies. You can. This is never gonna work out.
Oh
You're gonna have to
no. But
zoom
the little
in. You'll have to
duckies.
zoom
There it
in.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to zoom in.
Duckies. Yeah. I like that as like an ongoing game is what's
Hmm.
Natalie's mug. I love stuff
What's
like that.
Natalie's mug?
And we'll probably always talk about in the credit cookie, like, all right, let's do a little showcasing of
Show the mug.
the mug. Show the mug. All right, excellent, excellent, excellent. Also, credit cookie, we're talking about the stuff that's going on in our personal careers too. Natalie went to a film festival yesterday, two
I did.
screenings,
I
and you were
did.
like
Yeah.
signing autographs. You look so
Yeah.
cool.
That was a surprise. So I had one of the student films from SUU was playing. It was called When One Door Closes, and it turned out very good. I mean, it's girl's first. Her name's Maddie. It was her first film, and I love her. When we were filming this, she was actually in the class because she wanted to be a producer. And
Hmm.
she's like, I just have to do this for the class. And then the next time I saw her, she says, I said, so you still want to be a producer? And she said, I mean, I want to direct now. And I was like, oh, you got the bug. Yay.
Yay!
And anyway, just it was fortuitous. It was playing at 3 o'clock at Zion's International Film Festival. And then at 5:30, the feature that I was in was playing. Um, I was in this. Isn't this a great poster? And then someone had
That's
printed out all the
fun.
posters, and we were all signing them. And there was
That's cool.
one of the gentleman's daughter. Um, she had she was so excited to get my signature, and she says, "Because you're probably my favorite." And I'm like, "I'm the bad guy. Like I'm a
That's
villain. You should not.
awesome.
I should not be your favorite."
I
But
love that though. I mean, like your favorite, like just something about her, like relates for her, like something about your character
she's
related for her, and
evil.
that's just
She's evil.
maybe she's like trying to like unlock her inner strong woman character. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I'm just
I don't know.
throwing out
No.
words. I
Well, there's not
love
that
it.
many girls in it either, so
Well, yeah, she just saw herself up
it's a
there
male
then.
heavy script, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
representation matters. That's why. Yeah, you were her favorite.
but
I love
I
that.
I will say just on one last note about Geronimo. I guess Spencer, who is the director, he is not planning on doing a lot of festivals, and he's not trying for distribution. So it'll be up on YouTube in not too long, and I
Oh,
can
okay.
link for that, and everybody can see it. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool.
Hmm.
Also in our post work related, this weekend, nope, Monday. I forgot when I'm driving. Monday, I am driving out to Utah. Nellie and I are getting together. We're gonna be filming a new absurdist short film called In the Event of. So that's also gonna be in the filmmakery life stuff that we're
Hmm.
doing. We're doing the same route as maybe this year, so we're like doing a lot for ourselves and gonna, I'm sure, learn a lot of lessons on the
Oh
process. But
yeah,
yeah.
we're
Yeah, it's
gonna.
I'm
It's
excited.
fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
It's fun. It's fun. It's definitely like weird, too
Yeah,
many cooks, if you know what that is.
it is.
Humor.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little off the rails, but it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And then we're
Yeah.
also gonna, try to do a little photo shoot for we're making a
Yes.
movie. And
Yeah,
so
there's stuff
next
we gotta do.
week we will be in the same room for
Yeah.
our we'll try to
For
figure out how to do
the
that.
yeah.
Every day is something new, guys.
It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be, there's gonna be a new problem. Something's gonna be wrong. And then a new thing we'll learn. And in 10 years, we'll be amazing at podcasts. And we're like, we never intended to be podcasters.
I never wanted
We
to be
never meant
amazing at
this.
podcast.
We didn't
I
mean to
never
do this, but we
wanted to be
just
a
can't.
lumberjack.
We never wanted to be a lumberjack. I wanted to be, anyways. Cool. Any other credit cookie stuff that we want to share today? I don't think I got anything.
Oh, I have something.
Uh, oh, what do you have?
So Allison King Wheeler, um, she came in the other day and she's like, "I got you something," and she says, "I saw this at the thrift store and you had to have it, but I have to show it to the Quiet Army because
Yes.
evidently it is a pickle container." hold on, it's a Tupperware. She says it was specifically for pickles. It has this lift up thing with like a strainer in the
Yes.
bottom. So I guess
Uh-huh.
you like so that you can grab the
Yes.
pickles without
They
getting your fingers dirty.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Isn't this
Yep.
amazing?
That's like
I
straight up out of the 70s. That's
Isn't it? It's
fantastic.
fantastic. Yeah, and it's Tupperware.
I okay, when I'm in town, I'm sure we don't have time. But if we have time to go to places that have things like that, like cuz the good stuff does not last here in LA. Like I just want
We,
to see what
we
weird.
yeah, I mean we can definitely go to
Okay.
a to but there's like yeah, it's really not that great. The
Yeah.
thrifting here is not that
Okay.
great. There's some fun stuff, but
Oh,
you're gonna
okay.
get more kitschy things like this for sure.
That's what I
But
want. Yeah.
yeah, but it's so few and far between
Oh,
because
okay. All
they're
right.
just not as big. There's just not as much stuff coming.
Yeah.
But there's way more kitschy things. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, way more than
hmm
LA where it's just like everyone's last year
yeah,
purchase from Target they no longer want. Like a
yeah,
lot of home goods from
yeah.
Pier 1 end up at and I just have no interest in
No,
that
this
stuff.
is a
Like
bunch of your grandma's stuff that is
I
here, so it's
want
kind of
that's what
fun.
I want. I really should be going to estate sales for that kind of stuff around here. 'Cause I'm sure estate sales would be amazing around here, but I just don't have the time to make it
Right.
a priority enough to go do it.
Hmm.
It's a fantasy. A fantasy.
Yeah.
They used to make pickle jars like that in the 1900s out of cut glass, says E. Urbach. That's
Oh wow.
cool. Yeah. Question, did you hear that notification that just went off? Anybody
No.
out there? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. Because that, I don't know why my do not disturb turned back off. Anyways, cool. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in for the stream. We're going to do these credit cookies every week. They probably won't make the edit and a lot of things. We may leave them on the YouTube video, but we're definitely taking them off the podcast. And then also we are going live on Instagram right now too. So if you're ever out and about and that's the easier way to tune in because, Instagram is easier sometimes. We're going to be there too. We're figuring out how to go to all the locations. And thank you, Lito. This is the point where we'll do the reading the comments and chatting back with you guys. We're just going to save it for here so that the
Yeah.
podcast portion can exist on its own. And we do have a lot of great ideas in the hopper for this one for more interactive, occasionally doing a Q&A session. Maybe in the future we, do things early live and like have you guys show up for something special. We got stuff in the works. So you diehards out there that are here for the credit cookie, like stay tuned for things as we develop this version of the
Hmm.
show, this version of
Yeah.
our little
And
paradise.
and I don't think we will ever. I mean, it's not. I was reading, comments as I
Yeah,
could. So
we are reading it.
there
Yeah.
will be if like there are questions that pop up when we're doing a live interview and stuff that I can field. The thing is, I
Yeah.
just don't. I want the. We need the podcast to be more presentation. So it
Yeah.
will be as long as it can flow in there freely.
Hmm.
We'll make it
Yeah.
happen. But
We are reading the
um,
comments. Yeah, I
but
was
yes, we
reading them and
really
trying to
appreciate
answer,
you
like
guys being here.
slipping it
Yeah.
into conversation. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
trying to slip them into the conversation where I would see the questions. So feel free to keep talking in the chat. Do that because I'll side read it and comment and try and answer that question within the line of dialogue. We got
Hmm.
skills enough to do that these days. We got skills.
Sometimes.
Cool. Sometimes, mostly.
Sometimes.
All right, guys, we're going to be back next week. Next Wednesday, we'll be together, 10 o'clock in the morning, my time, which is 11 o'clock for Natalie, which is
Which should be 11 o'clock your
noon
time then too.
central, which is, yeah, which
I love.
is, I don't know. You figure out the time code. 10 a.m. Pacific time every Wednesday. We'll be here come hell or high water. All right. I'm going to hit the end stream button, guys. See you guys next week.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.